We joined Dean Kannemeyer this morning to take us through his runners for Hollywood Bets Durbanville on Saturday. Dean, in race one, you've got the two runners, explosive speed. 2 runs in KZN, hasn't really shown much yet. Could we see better or an improvement from him?
Yeah, I'd be disappointed if we don't see a big improvement on his first run. His last run. First run, I thought I'd get a run under his belt, and it was a fair race. It was extremely green, and I had 2 horses running that day, and they split the race. The other one, I thought he was the better one. The other one came out and won late in the day. It was called Green with Envy. Nevertheless, then his next run, I ran him on the poly. I mentioned a very rather weak race, but somehow he was the first horse speed coming into the straight. So we were rather disappointed. But it was his first run on the poly. Lovely mover, and so I gave him a break and never brought him back. And he's awesome. Won't be surprised to see him go 1600 plus. So I'll start him off at 1250. Can never leave him at the exotics, but he's a very nice mover and a good-looking horse. But I think he's going to stay on.
Guarding the Wall, the other runner, showed progress first to second run. Could we see more from him?
I think he'll continue to improve. Good run last time, still very green, and he got going the last bit and trying to run in behind horses. Craig had to pull him off. Unfortunately, we're drawn 12, which is quite a tricky draw. But in a competitive race, but you can't leave him out.
Dean, Guarding the Wall, a bit of a difficult draw, but is there more to come from him? He is showing progress.
I think there is more to come. His last run was only his second run, and he was still pretty green at Durbanville. He only got going the last sort of 250 metres of the race, and he was still green, wanting to run in behind this horse, and Craig had to pull him off. So I think he'll come on with that. Difficult draw, as you say, 12, pretty tricky draw. Big field, big rush into that first turn. But you've got to put him in, but you need a lot of luck from that draw.
Race 2, Bright Duchess, came out after a rest last time, and not a bad effort. Better for that run?
I think so, fair effort. She wasn't quite ready, like a lot of horses, as we're going into the spring season. She came back, she had 1 or 2 problems, issues, and so she was badly in need of that run. I think she'll come on. Also a competitive race, and she'll be better suited to the 1250.
Race 3, Enchanting Choice, a noteworthy debut, despite the wide draw. Could she go close? But obviously another wide draw, 14.
Very good run first time out. Then they were unkind to me and pulled a bad draw. So 14 draw. Fairly it'll go, stay on. I think she'll go 1600 plus, but it was an excellent run first run. But, only a second run back, and from that draw, you need a hell of a lot of luck.
Race 8, the Hollywood Bets Matcham Stakes, well represented, Dean. We'll start off with Give Me a Prince, drawn 1. Really classy sort. Did he benefit from the extra week? Yeah, without a doubt, that extra week has helped him.
It was difficult going into that race last week, so it was a blessing in disguise with the calling off the meeting. I'd like to have put one gallop under his belt. He's carrying a bit of condition. As he came back from his Durban campaign, rested them, vaccinated them, as you know. So the tracks have been good this last week, and I've tried to put in as much as possible. Nothing better than a grass gallop. But I'll race him straight from the sand. He's a very, very smart horse. You can see he's riding 130 on the top sprinters in the country. He is meeting with Charles Dickens, which I think is probably the best horse in the country. But it looked like the right race and the conditions to start him off there for the campaign that lies ahead. 1400-metre trip, no problem with that. He did run well in the draw, stakes from a bad draw, was flying and just got beat. Was about another top horse, just the draw beat him, in my opinion, that day. So, but he's doing well. Good horses never run bad races. But I know wherever I've got him, he's going to improve tremendously with that run under his belt. But he's looking good, and he's been moving well. And gave him his final sprint up yesterday. Really enjoyed himself. But he's matured and he's in good shape. But just that little gallop on his belt would have made a big difference.
Talking about a gallop, number 4, Cosmic Highway. He looks to enjoy the 1400 metres. First run back, I presume a horse also you would have liked to have given a good prep to.
Oh yes, I'm going into these races underdone, as I've done as much as I can on the tracks back home. He's a horse that he ran in the Diadem. The last 2 runs in Cape Town before I took him up, he wasn't really putting it in, and we decided to geld him. And then there was a long break, and then he got 2 runs under his belt. But his first run he needed, the second run could see improving, and I think he's got his mind right, and he's doing well. as a 3-year-old, he was one of the better horses in his generation, running third in the Guineas, and he was a top horse, and also one that probably in need of it, but he may come out fresh and doing good work at the finish. He looks well. He's enjoying himself.